Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe is pulling out all the stops to fight the coronavirus outbreak.
I have declared a state of emergency.
The month-long exceptional measures apply to 6 cities, including Tokyo. The capital is home to 14 million people and has seen infections double in the past 5 days. But Abe stopped short of imposing a strict lockdown like other countries, instead asking people to socially distance.
If we can reduce social contact between people by at least 70% or possibly by 80%, we can ensure the virus peaks in 2 weeks and the number of cases will decrease.
With just over 3,500 infections, Japan's outbreak is small compared to other nations. But it carries out far fewer daily tests. And medical experts say the healthcare system is already overstretched, raising fears in a country that has one of the world's oldest populations.
When you see on TV what's going on in New York with cases doubling within 3 to 4 days, it really sends a chill down my spine. I don't understand why our government waited for so long when the governor of Tokyo had been applying pressure to establish a state of emergency. It's worrying.
Analysts believe Abe was late to declare a state of emergency due to fears of its economic impact. They say it could cut consumer spending by nearly $23 billion, leading to a 0.4% drop in Japan's annual GDP. To soften the economic blow, the Prime Minister has offered a massive financial lifeline. It includes funding for medical supplies and cash payouts to small and medium-sized businesses.
We will definitely save lives and jobs. In order to do this, we will implement a world-class economy stimulus package with $990 billion, which is equivalent to 20% of the GDP.
That's bigger than the 11% of US output for President Donald Trump's stimulus package and the 5% for Germany's. But with the endpoint of the outbreak unknown, it may not be enough to save the world's third largest economy. Sibel Karkus, TRT World.
Well, for more on this, let's speak with Bill Emmott in Dublin. He's the chairman of the Japan Society of the UK and a former editor-in-chief of the Economist magazine. Welcome to Money Talks, Bill. Now, Japan, as we heard, has thankfully, so far at least, been spared the worst seen in other global hotspots when it comes to this virus. But can you tell us more about what's prompted this state of emergency declaration in the country?
Well, good day to you, by the way. I think what's prompted it is the rise in cases that your report suggested, and the fact that hospital capacity looks rather like in London, Lombardy, and New York, looks like it may run out quite soon. So I think that having left it quite a long time and having not really had a very active testing program, unlike in the neighboring country, South Korea, I think that Prime Minister Abe has suddenly realized that he needs to act if the health system is not to be overwhelmed.
That's right. Now, we know, sorry to interrupt you there, Bill, but we know Shinzo Abe has received quite a bit of criticism for a perceived lack of tardiness when it comes to responding to this outbreak. Does he deserve that criticism?
I think he probably does deserve some of that criticism. He is quite possibly delayed doing this until the fate of the 2020 Tokyo Olympics were decided, which was decided, of course, just a week ago, with the postponement to 2021. And I think that many people ascribe the low level of testing to the same concern. So I think he is tardy. He's been under pressure from the governor of Tokyo, Yuriko Koike, who is his great rival. And I think he's finally felt his feet to the fire that he needs to act, which also explains this huge economic package that he's announced. Much of it is fictional, but some of it is real. And I think that also reflects his feeling that he's been behind the curve on this one.
Yes, tell us more about this near $1 trillion package. It amounts to roughly 20% of Japan's economic output. How is this money going to be spent?
Well, a realistic evaluation of the package is that it's about 7% of Japan's annual GDP. The 20%, you only get to it by including certain loan guarantees and some things that have already been announced in the past. So let's look at it at 7% first. Secondly, much of it will be spent on direct cash support for households during the period of the lockdown and of the fragility of the economy, and direct support for companies. So, of course, as in other countries, his hope is that this will be short, that this will be just for 1 month or 2 months, providing direct cash support to people. That's the principal direction of the public spending. It's large, and Japan has got a very, very big national debt, the largest in the world, but very low interest rates, and the Bank of Japan is essentially printing money to finance this debt. So I think it can be afforded. It's not too dangerous, but the hope is that it's temporary.
Now, we also know that Shinzo Abe has pretty much stopped short of imposing a formal lockdown as we've seen in other countries. Is this a mistake?
Well, I think that there are two things you need to understand about that. The first is that because of history, and in particular pre-1955 history in Japan, I think I've lost the line here.
Yeah, so I think we'll leave it there. But thank you so much, Bill Emmott from Dublin, for your analysis.